Good morning. Today is the 6th of November 2024 and I'm going to go through my trading plan and levels on watch today. As always, what news could be moving the market today, and there's obviously that little tiny bit of news out about Trump winning the election. Congratulations. So we might see a bit of a volatile market. We do have oil news coming up at 10:30. No, that's Wednesday. Today's Tuesday, sorry. No, hang on. It is Wednesday today. Oil news, if you're in oil stocks, but nothing else. Got the 30-year bond at 1 o'clock, so keep an eye on that. That can have an impact. And that's about it, really. I thought we had more news than that. Other than, obviously, the elections, which has had a massive effect on the market. So look at this is the hourly chart, and yesterday we were hovering around this price, around 5, oh no, let's go to the ES. So we're looking at the ES at the moment on the hourly time frame, and you can see yesterday we're putting in this kind of inverse head and shoulders pattern, and then where we're hovering around 57.40, and today we're all the way up to 5900. So massive big move, big move. That was at 2%. So decent day if you're watching it during the night. And you see lots of pre-market and post-market volume there as well, which you don't see that often. So I think today might be a decent trading day. I will be a bit wary as well, because obviously I've never, trading days like today is quite rare, so I don't know how really to treat them. So looking at levels, we've got two obvious levels. We've got the new all-time highs, which are put in the post-market, pre-market. So I'm watching that area there, potentially for a rejection. Not sure I really want to reject it on a big strong move. And what I'm seeing now is it just eating time off the clock a little tiny bit before we start to make the next leg up. So I'm going to be more bullish, I think, today. So if we do break that 59.50 area, I'll be looking for a break and retest long. And I'm currently looking for a trend entry as well. I do quite like this pullback into this 59.10 area, which is right on that trend line we've been watching for some time. You can see yesterday we came up, we touched that level, touched that trend line, happens to be this area here. So I'm quite happy to wait for it to come back into that region again for a bounce. I'll also consider, that's 5900, psychological number as well. I'll also consider watching 5910, 5913 area, and that's only because of the previous all-time highs and pivots. So you can see that was the previous all-time high until today. We could mark it off anyway. It might have some significance, but there's not much volume there. Over on the profile, you can see there's lack of volume in that area, and even though we pushed up, there's a little bit of lack of volume, but quite a lot for it. That's pre-market volume basically. That's all I'm watching for, really. I'm literally watching this level for a high risk rejection, double top. Hard to, do you really want to go short on a big strong move? But I'm really waiting for a break and retest of that level long. That's my main watch today, and then I'm watching this area here for a bounce, this entire area. So I consider a bounce at 5910, but 5900 as well. And that's it, simple today. If it doesn't hit those levels, I probably won't take much. I've had a real decent few weeks, and I don't want to give anything back really. SPY, let's go back, let's look at ES and look at the order flow. Try and keep them together. So on my screen you can see now is the order flow. So we've got down on this screen, this is the cumulative delta divergence, and what I'm looking for here, if I'm looking for a reversal, I'm looking for a divergence. So if we're coming down into a level on the price, then I'll be looking for cumulative delta to be going up. So that's basically showing us a bit of absorption and then eventually some exhaustion, and then we see the price push back up again. That's what I'm waiting for. It's doing nothing unusual at the moment. Price has gone up, price has gone down, cumulative delta's gone up and back down again, so there's no divergences, nothing really to look at. And looking at the 30-minute on the bottom left, you can see point of controls in this region here. I'm looking for areas where these yellow point of controls are together next to each other. Potentially there as well, looking very bullish still because it's right at the top. Or bottom of that candle I meant. Yeah, it's difficult to see whether there's a reversal. We don't have much volume at all. There's no big orders sitting on the books waiting. You can see that with the smaller red candles. These red candles here. The thin red lines are orders over 200, and then it might be over 400, can't remember. No, over 200, and then if it's a thick red line, that'd be orders over 400 or over 500. I can't remember what the settings were. I'll have to look that up in a second. But basically, that's what I use just to see where there is current orders sitting when I'm trading. So nothing really. There's no signs of any reversals or any unusual happening on the order flow. So let's move on to SPY next, and we'll keep an eye on that. We'll come back to that at the end. SPY, exactly the same as ES. We've got new all-time highs, and we're putting in this bit of this. We're putting in this bull flag. So if we break that and retest it, I'll be looking for that play again, but on ES. And if we do break down below, I'll be watching for a bounce around 584 to 585 area, and obviously 590 is key areas. I'll watch those. These are the two areas to watch for the breakouts. Nothing really more to add than that. Obviously keep an eye on RSI as well. I really want to watch RSI in the hourly and daily. It's pretty much overbought right now, as you can see. Pretty obvious really when you look at the candles. So if RSI pulls back a little tiny bit, then that'll make the long or the pullback and the trend entry even more tempting to take. SPX, I've been saying for the last month, nothing's changed on the levels. You can see we've been trading between these levels pretty well really, but today we're going to be opening up here somewhere. So 5900 is a big key area. So if we're looking for a high risk rejection on ES, we don't really want to be taking that rejection if we're above 5900, because we'll be coming down into potential supply demand I meant, or there could be, being that it's a psychological number, and I think there's definitely all-time highs. Yeah, so 5900 key number. If we're below that when we open and we're looking for the rejection, that's great. If we're above it, I probably won't want to be rejecting it. NQ, and obviously the bounce will be, let's go back to SPX. If we're waiting for that pullback on the bounce, then it will be around about 58.50 to 58.70 for the bounce. This region here we can watch, and so we really want to see ES and SPX coming down into that region, and before we look for the long. So that's kind of what I'm watching. I like to use SPX as more of a confirmation as well. NQ, yet to make all-time highs. It did. That's the all-time high, so we're quite far from it. Showing relative weakness compared to ES right now, but we have got that level. So we are quite far away from all-time highs. So let's just zoom back in. Yeah, we can watch that area, this area here, for rejection. And again, quite strong if we pull back. We've got the point of control down here, all that volume. So I do quite like this area, 2500 for the bounce basically. And I know the trend line's invalid now because we've broken through it, but it could be, if we come back into that region, it could be back in play again. And then watch for the break and retest long. Notice the waning, declining volume on the volume profile. So I don't think there'd be too much to slow us down there, but you know, there could be orders sitting up there. So difficult to go long really into that pivot, but that'd be a more of a scalp play long. QQQ is looking a bit nicer than NQ. We've got coming to that area. Look at that coming to that area. That's why I always keep these levels in place, because look how that came right up to the same area as watching back at the end of October. So break and retest of 501. Obviously we're at the 500 area. That's a key number. We said it was a key number previously, and it broke through. Didn't hold for very long, couple of days. If we can come back down to 500, we're not quite there yet. Oh no, we are pretty much there right now. So we could watch it for a bounce. Best bounce place. Basically just trying to find a trend entry. We've got this bit of area cumulative confluence there. A little bit of volume coming in, extra volume than the previous price level. And then we've got the original all-time high. The original highs. This pivots here, so we can watch which is the lows. We've already bounced from there as well. Yeah, it's difficult trying. I'm not a big fan of this. Looking for the bounce. I think the break and retest is probably the better play. And then we got the all-time highs above. We're close to all-time highs on QQQs. And notice lack of volume up there as well. So I don't like shorting all-time highs, but we can definitely look for a trend entry, a break and retest into that. Let's go back to NQ, see if there's anything more obvious. No, look, we're quite far away from all-time highs, got a bit more work to do. So yeah, okay, let's go with plan. Break and retest of that pivot, 2780 long. So that's the area I'll be watching today. No, the reason why there's a lack of little small volume bar there as well, so maybe nothing too much to hold it back. And obviously we won't be using the hourly time frame to take the entry unless we're swinging it. So we should be able to find a decent move up on the 2 and 5 minute. So that's what I'm watching, that area there. High risk rejection, higher probability break and retest long, considering it's with the current trend of the last couple of days. Oil is down today. Let's just clear that. So oil, look at those levels we're looking at yesterday. So look, watch for a rejection, area confluence there, big area confluence right before that volume shelf, and area confluence along here as well, a few pivots there, and look at that, we came straight into it. So 72.81, we can watch that area again for a rejection. We've lost this area now, so the next bounce, get a bit closer. We did bounce off that area as well, so it's good to see that's still in play. And we've bounced off this area right now. So bottom of this, let's watch the bottom of this, 68, 69 for a bounce, that area there. One thing to take a look at is this pattern as well. So we've got a bit of divergence going on ES. I'll open it up in a second. We've got this pattern, this wedge pattern as well. So we're going to start trading in between here, and then finally we're either going to break down or we're going to break up. So see what happens. Again, not a big fan of this one today. It's too much noise in the middle. We really want to watch for a bounce down here somewhere. So 69 for the bounce, and then yeah, probably a break and retest long of 72. So the reason I like the long more is because these pivots are putting in higher lows every time, and that's it really. I'll keep an eye on it, but I probably won't trade it. Gold, I'll do that later. It's a bit annoying. Okay, so I've lost it. Okay, let's go back. Where's my daily? That one there. So that's my personal information again. Let me just pause this, although, you know, you've seen my personal information on the last screen now, which is a bit annoying, but I've got nothing to hide. Okay, I'm back. I just hid the page in case I had to put my payment details in, which I didn't. That's fine. Okay, so I'm back again. What were we looking at? We were down at gold. We're just looking at gold. There we go. Look at that. Totally tanked today. Doing the opposite, so maybe a dip buy. Let's just have a look. So it's coming into that region now we talked about looking to buy in this area. So I do quite like a buy. Probably exactly where it bounced. Notice the volume shelf as well to the left. Area confluence. So this was the area we was watching it. We said if it comes back down here, it's worth looking to buy or look for a bounce. Notice also this kind of head and shoulders pattern, which we talked about as well a few days ago, saying it could be putting in a head and shoulders pattern, which it kind of did. You can see where the neckline is. Did it break and retest that neckline? It sure did, look at that. So it broke the neckline, came back up, retested it, and then tanked. So always keep an eye on these patterns, they're my favourite patterns. I didn't take that, I wasn't watching that at all. But it worked, which is good. Yeah, I quite like the bounce in this area really. So maybe I'll keep an eye on that for a little bit of a bounce. You notice that if it gets above 26.80, let's just put an alert in. I can see what the market's doing, what the prices are doing then, but I want to see it. If it gets above that area, I might watch it for the bounce. Or we can watch it for the retest back up in this area as well, for the rejection. Okay, RTY. One of Trump's stocks, or one of the ones that reacts to them. Look at that, so definitely looking very bullish. So keep an eye on this for a long. You can watch for the breakout outside of this. We've got stock, quite a big area, but so potentially we can watch for a long if we break out of that. And also, otherwise, if it pulls back, there's a big obvious place we can watch for the bounce, and that's this area here. That's where the volume is as well. So there's no volume above. I know we had this little hiccup here, that was in the post market last night, but the volume's down here at 2300. So watch 2300 for the bounce. That's a big. Let's change my pen. So this region here, 2300 for the bounce. And I'm not sure why I've got that level 2341 marked up. Was that a previous level? Don't think it was. Oh yeah, look at that. So that's probably why we had that little bit of a hiccup, a little bit of hesitation. It's a previous all-time high. So it got to it, wobbled around, and then shot off again. Okay, so that's the only play to watch really. Don't really like taking it short. YM, just the Dow Jones. Oh, look at that. Coming right into a bounce point now at 43,500. So let's mark that off. You can see it's broken that previous all-time high, and we've now come back into it. So keep an eye on that for a bounce right now as well. If we lose that, then we've got this level here, area of confluence as well. I didn't mark it off, we'll try and keep my charts clean, but we've got 43,200, 43,250, that area, 280, 300, and then we've got 43,500. That's the area to watch for the bounces. I do quite like that, but we are really overbought on the RSI, and we're really far away from the moving averages. That's the 8, that's the VWAP, that's the 20, And we've got the 50, it's just crossed the 200 as well, so looking more bullish. But we really want to see it come back down, at least retest the 20. Ideally come back down and retest the 250. We'll see what happens. I think we've had too much of a move to really want to go long, but look, it's holding that level, it's holding that area as well. Big volume shaft below as well. And then finally Bitcoin. This is one of my ones I've been watching. I did add to it today actually. So today when it pulled back down into this area, I put an ad in. I was watching that in the I don't know, and it wasn't today. Let's go into the hourly. What area was it? That area there, I mean. As it pulled back down, right at a level I was watching 73. I think I literally added at the bottom of that area there, and that must have been about 3 AM, yeah, exactly that, 8 AM this morning, so that's when at UK time. Sounds about right. So that's my ad today on hope, I don't like using the word hope, on the fact that we're going to see a big push up. If it breaks down, I'll probably take away that ad for a small little loss, and then I'll look to add back down here again. And the other reason I like the ad is because it's coming into this region here as well, which is yesterday's highs from the end of October. So that's kind of why I like the ad. Well, I did add. On the daily, bit of volume coming in today, kind of expected as well. We had a bit more volume over the last few days on the breakout of the trend line, which you expect to see more volume. Pull back, retest, pull back, come back out, retest, and then break out into new all-time highs. So Bitcoin's hit new all-time highs for the first time since March this year, and I can't remember now whether we said that was an all-time high. High 73, 624, 73, 709. No, so that was a new all-time high since March this year. So onwards and upwards, and that was a good ad there. I'll add my ad in a second. I like to add them in, and then we'll see. I'm just going to watch the volume next. As we get increased volume coming in, then I'll be looking to probably to take some profits as well as it's pushing up. Like last time I did that was here. Notice the increased volume there. So and you can see where I took my outs as well. At the same time, I'll be treating it the same, and then when it pulled back, so I'll add into the position. So basically, I'm not using my own money, I'm using market money basically. So as it pulls back, add, take some profit out, add it on, and that's it. So let's just look at ES. I said there was a bit of divergence going on the order flow. You can see on the bottom right screen. Here we go. So we've got the price coming down, and then price going up there. And look at this, just coming all the way down. There's no. So that means we've got a lot of selling into buyers, and buyers are holding, basically absorbing all the selling pressure, holding the price where it is. So potentially, if it carries on like this, then the sellers will exhaust themselves, and then the buying will continue pushing up. So keep an eye on that. Any signs of a reversal down here? Got stacked imbalances there. There's a three stacked imbalances, so it means there's more selling pressure, not many buyers. But then, could we just limit orders triggering? There's a fourth one there as well. You've put them together. Exhaustion print there on that pullback. Nothing really. Yeah, let's see what happens when the market opens. But still, this is what we want to keep an eye on down here. This is what we're looking at. So this is as expected, and then price changes direction. But look at that, we sold straight off. Cumulative delta was negative. So usually a sign that something's about to happen. Market opens in 3 minutes. So thank you for watching. On my other stream, which is what you're seeing right now, is the order flow. So I like to use that when I'm looking for reversals. And then I'll just stick to the levels which I'm currently watching on ES. And those levels are going to be, to quickly cover them, I'm watching for the breaking retest of the new all-time highs at 59.53 area. And I'm watching for a bounce, high risk bounce where we were earlier, 59.27, which is already bounced by the looks of it. But I'm really waiting for a bounce down at 59.10 to 59.13, this region here. That'll be a break and retest of this area, and I prefer that area than this pivot and that high risk one we just seen, purely because of the volume profile. There's more volume there, so more to hold it up. And that's it. I'm not going to try and do anything silly in between. And I've had a decent couple of weeks, been fully green. I don't think I've had a red day now for about 3 weeks. So I'll try and keep it that way if I can. Okay, thank you for watching.